Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back, my machine heads. All of you, welcome back to the Realistic Farming channel, where we use real tractors, we use real equipment, we have realistic tutorials, and we have a real lot of fun. Welcome back, everyone, to the Life of the Dairyman on Meadow Farm Extended. In this episode, we are going to take our feed mixer as promised, and we are going to go back to the shop and buy the Kinsey wagon, and then we're going to start fertilizing a field. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, whenever you're watching this, I'm doing fantastic. All right. Back up here using this. Spin her around. So I did some walking around on the map, around, and I was trying to find where everything was. Get this centered a little bit. There we go. And the one field that we want to go up to, I'll show you as soon as we get to the end of this row here. The end of this by the cow pen here. What we're going to do is, let me get to the map. All right, we are going to fertilize 17, 18, or we might plow them in. We'll have to decide that. But this field 14, you have to come down, go in here, and go around. I drove all the way up around here. It was so funny. It was hilarious. But yeah, let's take this little... I love this little mixing wagon, don't get me wrong. It's just too high for everything to be using it. Like, you have to have a... I mean, we have a telehandler, we have the JCB, but that's just... I want to be able to use a skid steer if I can. Scoot up so I can drive and not try to wreck. But I hope everyone's doing fine. I'm doing awesome. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic as usual. I know I asked you guys earlier, but a little spiel that I always do. I want to thank everybody personally for taking a look at the videos. The first episode of this series has taken off, and I'm loving it. I'm loving all you guys that subscribed. Everyone who subscribed is now going to be called a machine head. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. It just kind of popped into my head. And I think it's going to work. So, as you can see, well, you can't see because I have the HUD off. I am using an app, as everyone knows, called the... There's traffic. See it way up there in the corner? The little truck's going by, but apparently not on this road. I'm using an app called the Sim Dashboard. So it allows me to have my HUD off, and I can still see the time. I can still see all the stuff that I need to. So if you guys get a chance, download that app. It's pretty amazing. It does not work for iPhone, and it does not work for Apple products. It only is an Android. So I had to go out and personally buy a tablet myself. Get this up here and then detach it. And we will sell her back right here. And we will buy any moose. We will buy the Kinsey grain cart. Now, I changed it, as you can see. Let's see, what do we want? We want a lizard, yeah. No, that was too big. Let's go all options. USA regulation, because that's what we're using it. All right, as you can see, I changed the capacity to 24,000, which allows us to use 4,000 bales. We can use 6,000 bales, or we can use 10,000 bales. Or we can use 8,000 bales as well, because I have the variable bale mod. I can change the size of the bale. But if we went 6,000, that's 5.8 size bales, and that's what we're going to do. And that is only 40,000. There we go. We're gonna get a nice look around it. It's a little bigger than I wanted, but it has the electronic thing here that'll tell us how much is in it. The other thing is, I explained to you guys pretty much on every Let's Play, I don't use manual attach, even though it's one of the realistic mods. Oh, there we go. I keep forgetting because I play so many games. Yeah, I don't use the manual attach because it absolutely messes with the mods that I use, some of them. And some of the mods that I use, I don't want to get rid of. This wagon's quite a bit bigger. You can feel the weight on it. This hill's going to be rough with trying to get up it with bales and stuff. But like I said, if you read the descriptions that I put, this series is through the perspective of a real life dairy farmer, because I am no longer. I am retired, but I was in one time in a former life. as I always tell my wife, in a former life, I was a dairy farmer. So it gives me a chance to, within the constraints of the game, obviously it's a video game, so you can only do so many things real. But I want to explain to you guys how dairy farming works. I want to teach you guys how it impacts the cows and what to do in this situation, And I changed the XML of this. I don't want to change too much, even though I do it constantly. I may change these cow pens on this to take soybeans, because that's what we fed them. Really, really, really like this map. But also, if you guys have a lot of questions or any questions about how things work, how things actually go about in real life, let me know. I'll answer them the best I can. And like I said, within the constraints of a game. Let's see, we're going to try to put this in a bigger area. You know what? I got an idea. Put this right next to the bales for now. See, I can barely see around this thing. There we go. She's in. All right. So, do we want to drive over there quick? Do we want to plow in these fields, or do we want to just fertilize them? Because it says that we need plowing. I'll bring up the screen again. I wanted to do 15 and 16. These are the two fields that I own. Well, two of them. But it says it needs plowing, and it has 0% fertilizing. We're at 18. It says 18 needs plowing. So should we plow it in and then plant grass in it again? Because we didn't plow our grass fields in too much. We just kind of let them grow. We fertilized them. Yeah. Let's try to get the best growth out of it. We'll go down and we'll buy us a nice little plow, and I think I'll use the black sheep modding one. 6 meter one. I'm going to try to stay at 6 meter equipment. There we go. I probably will leave that weight right on the front until we start loading bales. Now, I could have very easily put a front loader on this, which I may very well do. But right now, the telehandler is going to be the way that we're going to feed our animals as best we can. Sorry about the pause there. I forget which buttons, like I said in the beginning, I forget which buttons I have set up for up and down. There we go. Now, like I said, apparently on this little stretch and my way back to the shop, there's no traffic, which helps because the maker of this map, Nathan, must have figured that that you're going to be running to the store constantly. Put this around, and we'll pull it in right over here. Tractor's really nice, though. Really, 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 really nice use of this mod. All right, so let's stop talking here and get us a plow. Shall we say, technically a subsoiler. We're going to change the color of that to Lemkin. Design color. I put these metal because that's what they are in real life. They start out actually probably more like that. But we're going to keep it metal colored, and we're going to go 2.6 miles an hour. Because as I've explained several times on several of my Let's Plays, but for those of you who don't... Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, Fury. Don't drive so fast there. For several of you that... Let's see how well it matches. Oh, look at that. As you can see, we're going to do a theme. We're going to go the light blue, the Lemkin color. I think everything that we buy will be that color. But yeah, as I explained, to me, one of the biggest things they did is scale and speeds. I went through a big explanation on Flint Hills about it, and a big explanation. Pretty much every Let's Play that I do, I've done pretty much an explanation on what speeds you do things. But for those of you who have never heard it before, to subsoil or plow, you're not going to do that at 10 miles an hour. I'm sorry. And you're not going to do that at 8 miles an hour or 7 miles an hour even. You're going to do it at about 3. Up the big hill. As I drive into the bushes. You know, that sort of thing. Cultivating, you could probably do it about... We used to do it in about 4th gear. So about 11... Probably 10, 11 miles an hour. Now, this is only a 160 horsepower tractor, and this subsoiler, because it's not a plow, even though the game has it set up as a plow, the real terminology is a subsoiler. This subsoiler, according to what the specs say, takes 180 horsepower. So we wouldn't be able to pull it at 10 miles an hour anyways. It would take us, it'd probably be about maybe 6 or 7. Because in Farm Sim 17, you could get away with, you know, as long as you had at least like 3/4 of the horsepower, it would still pull it at full speed. All right, so let's start in this field. Get into the field. And we'll go down, around. Let's go this way. Spin around for a second here. So I can watch my plow. Raise it back up. I don't know where the edge of the field is. Well, we're going to wing it. Okay, there it is. See it? I had to switch to my controller because as a real farmer, you're constantly leaning out the window so you can see your edges. But we got to come over this way. See where the edge of the field is? Back this thing up. All right, so the first order of business is let's just go around too much and see if we can get the whole edge of this field. I do like the textures on this field. I do like it. Nice, 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 nice. We'll make sure we just do this so we get the whole edge of the field, at least the first one. As you can see, plowing is a painstaking job. It takes a long, long time. Okay, that's the edge of the field, so we know where that is. But we're going to stay down here just because I want to make sure we get all the, at least the edge. So that we know at least where the edge of the field is. These newfangled tractors they had, I was at a farm show a couple of weeks ago, and as I explained to you guys in the last episode, the new Fendt 1050 has a chair that literally spins, and you can sit like this so you can just see. It was like, all the comforts of home at a CD player in it, a DVD player on the screen, so you can like watch a movie. I'm like, well, doesn't anybody farm anymore? Still getting the edge of the field. Good, good, good. Now, once this is plowed once, I'm not going to do it again. Ever. We'll do it this first time. Then I'm not going to do it again. Because we never did. We didn't even cultivate our grass in or anything like that. It just grew, and every year it just grew. What we would do every other year is we would, like, okay, so say we were doing this field here. Dad would have us do that field for the year. And then the next year you wouldn't touch it. And then you'd go to a different field and field that one for a year, 2 or 3 times a year. So that it got a chance to, what it does is it grows to full growth, which is probably, I don't know, I've seen grass in real life in my fields that were chest high, you know, and I'm just under 6 foot. So I've seen it that tall. So what it does is it grows up, it seeds itself. That's what the little tops of the grass is the actual seeds. And then it falls down in and basically replants itself. So we would field we would mow our fields and hay our fields and silage our fields every other year. So we would take care of this one for a year, take care of the one across, and then, like, say our other 2 fields were grass, or 5 or 6. As a dairy farmer, you have a lot, and I mean a lot. You're constantly doing grass work because the cows use hay, they use silage, we use soybeans, but some guys use hay, straw, and silage, which is what Farm Sim likes you to use. I think that's more of a European thing. But we used to use the straw strictly for their bedding. The straw that would come off. And we used to call it fodder. Like, we would take our corn and cut our corn down, and then we would you would take a brush hog and you would mow it down, and then you would bale it up. We'd windrow it and then bale it up. I think this is just going to be about it. I don't know. Okay, that's not the edge of the field. Okay, so what they did... All right, you see that? Let me get out here. All right, so this is not the edge of the field. This must be just where, like, you come and you park your equipment and you can start. Because the field stopped there, and it stopped there. All right, no worries. What I want to do, though... All right, so also normal tractors with a 6-meter plow, you are going to you're going to put your tire just about on the edge of the grass itself. Now, if I was using a less than a 6-meter, I would go down into one of the furrows to the next furrow over, like this, and then you would duck your tire down, and that would, if you were using a moldboard plow, which we did. We owned one of them too because we had to. When a tine breaks on one of these things are expensive to replace. There we go. We're plowing in our field. This may take a few episodes, everyone, just so they know. But we're playing it real time, so it doesn't... This is what you would do. So as you can see, it's 5 minutes to 8 in-game. I purposely picked a tractor that did not have a clock in it because these are the kinds of tractors that I grew up with. We did not have a clock in our tractor. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all that stuff. If you had a watch, you were lucky. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, good. Now, the other thing normally is I wouldn't do headlands like this either. In real life, you would come down, you would plow pretty much to the edge of the field where you couldn't go anymore, and then you'd come and do your headlands last. But for this go-around, I wanted to know where the edge of the field is. Doing headlands is not unheard of as far as first, because in some farms, that's what they do. I'm going to try to make this turn. See, a lot of people I noticed when they play... Turn around for a second. Got it. When they play Farm Sim and everybody plays super fast, like they want to play like 90 miles an hour, you want to plow it. That's why this original subsoiler was made where it would go 10 miles an hour. People just want to go fast. They want to get it done as quickly as possible. And I don't know how many times I've heard people say to me, well, I get all my fields done and then I got to fast forward time. Well, to me, and this is just me, just my opinion, to me, that means you're not playing the game properly. You're taking too long. You're not, or you're going too fast, so you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a real farmer. But then again, I have to realize it's just a game, and everybody has the right to play it any way they want. And that's cool. I'm happy with that. I play it as if it's a real farmer because this is my relaxing time. This is my time to play. I can still be a farmer, a virtual farmer, shall we say, without having to have the stress of being a real farmer. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Ryan, that was telling me about his soybean issues, and I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with that anymore. But anyways, what my whole point of that story was, you see how when you're going the proper speeds and stuff, you can turn around the corner and you get everything. See how we got everything? Because you're not trying to go too fast. Got about 4 or 5 minutes left. That, boy, I tell you one thing, that 30 minutes goes fast. All right, let's go back down here now. But realistically, actually, in this field, you could probably just go around like I'm going. And you would be able to do it that way. Because you don't want to drive on those furrows. Because what you're doing is you're making furrows to plant your stuff in. You're turning the soil over. You're getting the soil fresh. And I think Farm Sim has it set up where once you plow, I think you don't have to plow again for like 3 cycles. So realistically, we won't have to plow this again for another, if we get 2 cuts a year, at least another year. By then, Farm Sim 22 will be out. And I know this is boring, and I know that it's super boring for people to watch. But for me, this is the way it really is. This is why farmers take forever. Like I was telling a guy that, I might have mentioned it last episode, I don't remember, but I was telling a guy, he's like, well, what do I do with all my downtime? We didn't have any downtime. All right, so first of all, I'm on the furrows. I'm backing up on them. That's the only disadvantage to doing the headlands like this, is you can't. You're really not supposed to drive on those. Like this here I would be able to hear my dad screaming from that house way up there. What are you doing, boy? But his field is different. All right. About 1 minute left. What we'll do is we'll end this here. Ease it up. Shut my tractor off and say my goodbyes. All right, everyone. That's another episode. We are now after 8 o'clock in the morning, finally. We are 3 hours in. We started at 6 o'clock in the morning. It took us literally, 2 hours, sorry. 8 o'clock, not 9. It took us 2 hours just to get our animals ready. And that's about right. So without further ado, look after each other, look after yourselves, and most importantly, look after your family. I try to mix those little 3 up every day just so it's a little bit different. And please, please, please like and subscribe and share. And enjoy the night, the day, the weekend, whenever you're watching this. Please, please, please. It's important that you just relax, chill, and watch the videos. If you have any questions, make sure you comment. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. I check the comment section every single day, so you know. If you have any questions about farming, about dairy cows, about anything else that's related to this channel, realism-wise, just let me know, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. And without further ado, I'll catch everyone on the flip side.